Hi everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossil Forward Finds. As you can see, I have a good size estate sale haul in front of me. Went to a estate sale in Hannacroix, New York, run by the company I usually go with, Empire Estate Sales. I went because the picture showed this big old postcard album along with a stack of cards. I figured there was probably other stuff in there as well. So this is probably going to be a couple video haul. I'm not sure how y'all feel about our 2-hour videos. So in this first video, I'm going to go through sort of the extra ephemera, and then we'll look at the postcards in the second video. I'll have them all scanned in and such. So let's get to it. Alright, before I put the postcards away, I figured we'd do a quick little tease, but again, we'll do the main haul in a different video. Just as a quick look here, you can see the album is falling apart, so I'm definitely not going to keep the album. But a lot of New York cards in here. Well, that one's Michigan, but there was quite a few New Yorkers in here. We got a little bit of Japan, got some real photos. A lot of scenes in this, but it'll be fun to go through. There's a whole bunch of real photos on the back here as well. Well, you'll have to take my word for it. And then the stack of cards that was with it was really nice as well. Here's a cat that'll stay with me. You're gonna have to wait to see what else is in the stack, all the goodies, but there's a lot of seasonal stuff in there. This book plus this stack was $100, and then I filled about half of this green bag with the rest of the stuff you see here, including some additional postcards and such. And they offered $75 for the rest of it. I counted at $50, so I paid $150 for everything you see here. Okay, so I don't fully know how to go through all this efficiently, but we will do the best we can. And if you see any messes out there, blame these ones. I am not a handyman, nor am I a housemaker. There we go. So to start off here, we got these two larger pieces. I don't usually pick up large pieces too often, but I'm trying to branch out, and this was honestly too interesting to pass up. So we have what I'm assuming is probably CDVs in there, with some names and dates. You know, born 1801, died 1887, etc., etc., etc. Got some names there. What does it look like? Nichols? David Nichols and Betty Nichols. Charming pair there. But what I like is that there was also these two silhouettes, and I've not had antique silhouettes before, so I thought that was interesting. Seems to be different names here: Ruth Madison and Troubaud Madison. I don't know, but also from the 1800s. So this is framed. I'm going to keep it this way. Not too bad on the back there. This will be certainly interesting to ship, but yeah, unless I decide to keep it for the gallery wall, I don't know. But I thought that was a nice piece, certainly worth it. And this was another big one, a little easier to ship because it's not in a frame, but it is oversized. But really interesting picture there. Got all the men with the kids. Don't know where the wives are, but in any case, got some really different types of nice facial hair going on there. And then we do have, it won't focus, but we do have some identification on the back there. So. Okay, continuing on, some little odds and ends here. I have no idea whether this is anything per se. It says entry tag, but it's for the first Dundee Fair in Dundee, New York. It doesn't have a date on it that I could see, so I'll have to look that up. But I figured ephemera from the first of any event might be of interest. Got some deck of cards here. I don't know if they're complete or not, and honestly, I don't care. This one I'm fairly certain is not, so I will probably sell them as single swap cards. And then this one, I may do the same, or I may check to see if it's complete, but I'll probably just sell them as swaps. A little ticket, 91, so it's not that old. I guess technically vintage. for Knickerbocker Arena, CBA playoffs, Texans versus Patroons. I don't really know what any of that means. I don't know what sport that is. But I figured why not. I thought I got 2 of them, but I couldn't find the second one, so maybe I only got 1. And then there was a whole stack of these. I really don't know what to say about them. It says General Nathaniel Greene on the front, and then gives a little bit of information on his history, born in Rhode Island, yada, yada, yada. So it's a whole stack of these. So I just grabbed it, figured, list it multi-quantity. I don't know, probably just a couple bucks, and see what happens. We got this fellow in the frame. A nice picture with the dog. I'm assuming that's him older. I'll have to take it out of the frame and get a closer look, but nice one there. And then this, I may keep this. I haven't decided yet. I have not seen one of these in the wild, but little traveler's binoculars. Let's see. Coated lens, made in Japan. It's in really good condition. I may keep this for my wildlife spotting in the yard. If you don't know, I do have a homestead channel, or wannabe homestead channel. It's really just me gardening poorly. But I have a lot of deer and wildlife that come around, so I try to highlight those. So I may keep those myself. I haven't decided. All right, where do we go next? All right, continuing on. If you saw my haul video from the Troy estate sale, I picked up what at the time just seemed like a random letter, stuck it in the bag, came home and found out it was from a coal company in Troy, and I actually just sold that yesterday as I'm filming this for $40. So I picked up some more letters while I was out today. Excuse all the vehicles driving by. These ones are from the 80s. I haven't looked at them yet. I'll probably end up selling them as a lot unless there's something really of interest in there. But this one, I noticed at the sale, I noticed the United States Army letterhead. I didn't see the date at the time, but I assumed it was probably an older letter. We're 1945, so we're around the wartime. I brought it home, and we have all sorts of old Japanese paper monies. I'm assuming from occupation time, or early occupation. I'll have to do some research on that. I haven't read the letter yet, but I just thought that was pretty neat. That was my my letter surprise so far. Again, I haven't looked at these yet, so I'm not sure what's going on in there. Let's see. We got the National Grange of the Patrons of Husbandry. Some sort of certificate there. Established in 1867. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is from 1990, so not that old. Well, it's almost as old as me, but regardless. And then there's this whole envelope of goodies, too, that I haven't really looked through at all. Looks like we did some practice embroidery. I did notice there were some ribbons in there, like awards for sewing and stuff. Diphtheria protection, okay. Got some letters, 1942. That one could be interesting. Idle gossip sinks ships. And then there was some from the 50s in here as well. Yeah, you see that one there is postmarked 1952. So that will be another little thing to poke through. I'll obviously do that, and if I see anything, I'll include it in the video. And then I found this little set. So this is just a blank paper here from Hotel Thayer at West Point, New York. I don't know why we went all zoomy like that. Here's the corresponding envelope, a postcard for the same hotel, and then there was this little piece of paper in the envelope as well for the same hotel. It says like a cashmere bouquet. I'm not sure if this was like a flower wrap or if this was around soap or what the deal was, but I will keep all that together, sell it as a little lot. All right, I did decide to unpack some of the contents of that envelope that I was looking at. Let's see, we got some Dundee Central School certificate of promotion for kindergarten to grade 1 from 1948. A little report card, cars driving by. These were some of the ribbon prizes. It looks like for a sewing event. What I thought was interesting is some of these little pieces of paper that were with it is second prize, 75 cents. And let's see, Squaw Spirit, first prize, $1. There's little envelopes. And these are some of the ribbons here. Squaw Skirt, 1955, 56. So, interesting. I don't really know much about it. I may just lot them all together. But interesting little something there. And these ones, a bit harder to read, but you can see it there. 1954 blouse. A little bit information there. First prize, $1.25. That one. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, that was the letter. Well, this was just a card, as we mentioned before. We already looked at that. Do have some vaccination records, as I mentioned, for diphtheria. I'm not sure which one that was, but 1948, 1946. Old letter here. I haven't really read it yet, but it looks like it's to Dad. And then where'd it go? Yeah, this was the idle gossip letter that we were looking at. On the back here was sent from, I think, Tennessee, from someone in the, let's see, United Service Organization. As you can see, the text is very, very faded, so it's going to take some work to read it. But I'll give it a go, see if there's anything interesting in there. And then I think we have the regiment information and such there. I can't necessarily read it off the cuff here, but I will do my best. All right, let me clean this up and we'll keep poking around. All right, continuing on with the assorted goodies. This one's a little different for me. It's a baby book. Definitely has seen better days. See, there's foxing and stuff. Come on, focus. Doesn't want to focus. But yeah, made in USA. It has been filled out. You know, baby's first photograph, steps, and all that stuff. So I thought it was cute, and why not? I don't know if something like that sells, but I figure it might to genealogy people or someone doing some interesting crafting. And there was all these little other envelopes and cards in the box with it. So I did a lot of just grabbing and putting in grabbing, handing to my dad. I brought my dad to this estate sale. This is his first sale, which was kind of a rough one to go to. It was very full, put it that way. A little scoring board. I know some of these vintage scoring board pads can be worth some money. It was only the one, but I grabbed it anyways. Figured why not. We'll get to that in a second. A volunteer firefighter convention, 100th annual, 1988. Not that old, but again, firefighting stuff is pretty collectible. So I figured why not. I think it's just like a bandana, handkerchief kind of thing. This one is interesting, and I have to do some research on this because it says the USA Centennial. We got George Washington there, obviously. It's like a embroidered fabric kind of thing. You can see that's the back there. Very thin, lightweight. See, 1776 to 1876. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of looking to see if that is legitimate. Condition is fairly good. We got a little bit of discoloration there, but overall in great shape. It's in, I don't know what the paper's called, but it's sort of like that wax paper you see stamps stored in. So I'm going to put it back in there, and then I'm going to have to do some research on that one. That might be good. I really didn't pay attention to this at the sale either. I pulled it out, thought it was interesting. At first I thought it was a bookmark. Dad said it was fabric, so we just put it in the box and said, why not? All right, let the chaos continue. We got this Greene County Historical Society register for Rocky Store's School in New Baltimore. Don't really know much about that. Again, I just kind of grabbed things that looked interesting. But this big old envelope actually seems to be kind of fun. It seems to be like someone's genealogical research. This is my favorite bit so far. This is a photocopy of like store receipts, I guess. And then there was this typed little note in there, basically saying that their forebearer, a James Reynolds, despite being an ardent Baptist, was apparently a tippler on ardent spirits, so a heavy drinker, I'm assuming. But apparently everyone was quote-unquote tippled. But I like the last line here. I'm amused about James Reynolds' store bill, especially because it reveals our forebearer as less than a saint. So, and there's some writing on the back there, so I'll have to see if I can decipher some of the things that are on here. But yeah, that was neat. And then there's all these typed letters and essays, and where there was just one I was looking at. Right, it was this one. Scientific American, wow, I keep forgetting this word. Paper, anyways, that's not the word I was looking for, but look at how this letter starts. As I am now 200 years old and don't expect to live more than 100 years more, I'm going over my papers, including the family papers. Okay. And it's signed an Albert Ingalls. So, yeah, you're not really sure what that's all about. But interesting, there's a lot of little interesting letters and essays about family history and stuff, so it's going to be fun to pour through. I'll probably end up selling this whole thing as one big lot, such as it is. So, all right, we might as well do this, and then we'll hit this. That's a stack of photos, but found some photos here that were still in like some album pages, so I just again snagged them. They look like they're probably mid-century. Got a ship going on there. I'm not sure if we'll be able to read what ship it's on, but focus with camera. All right, so let me clean this up. I did get a newspaper. I don't know why. I saw the Cedar Grove, and I'm pretty sure somewhere in there was some Cedar Grove photos or something, so I just grabbed it. Figured, worst comes to worst, is I have a useless newspaper. But let me pack this up, and then we can go on the home stretch here for this video. Thought I would pause for a moment to show that Garak has shown up. Yeah, he's my buddy. Aren't you, buddy? Yeah. That's a good boy. Garak's a bit of a biter. But he means well. Don't you, buddy? Yeah. Want to say hi? No? Alright. Back to the photos. Alrighty, so I laid out the photos a bit. Car going by. We got all sorts of different type of things. Stuff from the 30s and the 40s. Like that's a nice little group shot on the porch there. This one is kind of fun. Having a grand time. A little bit of information on the back of that one. I don't typically try to pick up the really modern ones, but sometimes they make their way in. Nice one. Guys on the stoop. Nice family portrait, 1938. Did find a negative. Looks like some kids on the phone. A little rotary phone of some sort, perhaps. That's got the house. The Hollick Mansion, 1935. 1934 looks like a wedding or Easter or something of the sort. This one stays with me. What do you think, buddy? You like it? Don't try to eat it. Alright, I'm not sure if he's impressed. Yeah, so I saw that one. That one stayed in my collection. This is what I was talking about with the newspaper. Celebration of the reopening of Thomas Cole's old studio at Cedar Grove. 2004 was when these photos were taken. It's a whole set. I haven't really looked through them or anything, but I figured I could just sell it as a set. It might be of historical reference or use. I'm assuming it's the same stuff in there, but I haven't looked at it. Did find a couple CDVs. Now, they did have a CDV / tintype album that I passed on. I was already spending, you know, 150 bucks on everything. And I don't know, I wasn't sure about it, and I knew it was going to be another 150 bucks just for that album, so I'm debating going back to the sale tomorrow, maybe. See if I can find more interesting paper, because I barely scratched the surface. But I don't know. I've already spent a lot of money. But nice low CDVs. Blank back on that one. I think one of them had, yeah, Hudson, New York on the back there. And then Pretty Young Lady. Nothing on the back of that one. Alrighty. Like I said, I don't try to pick up the modern ones too often, but Halloween was fun. Same picture on both. It's 2010. But, you know, Halloween is popular. Even New Halloween. And then I just like the dog in this one. So, and then we got a whole bunch of photos on board and framed photos, or not framed, but paper framed, I suppose. But we got this Happy Baby. Burrell Studio, it looks like. 1943, perhaps. Nothing on the back. But it's a good size one. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Probably not. Okay, 1951, Franklin Studio in Albany. Handsome gentleman there. Remark? I don't know. Another guy? Maybe the same one, I don't know. Lady falling out of her frame there. I'll probably just take it out of the mat. Maybe not. I don't know. Might just add unnecessary weight to keep it. Cute kid with a less cute doll. This one, the whole frame part came off, so I probably will just sell the image separately because there's no writing or markings on the frame. Perhaps same person all grown up. Or partially grown up anyways. Same young woman. By Reba Rasbach. Must be the photographer, I'm guessing. Older woman here, probably the same as that smaller photo earlier. Let's see any markings on that one. Well, there you go. Nice young lady. 1949. See any other markings there? And this guy. So, not too bad. There's also, I'm not going to take them all out, but some negatives and some mid-century photos in there. I didn't see anything crazy in my first pass. Let's see. Can I do this or should I pause? I'm going to pause. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell or keep this item either. I probably will sell it because I don't really have a place for it, but it's an Irish toast, like wall hanger, I guess, fabric. It is made in Ireland. I saw that somewhere, but it says, maybe in heaven, half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Irish toast, and there you go, made in Ireland. Nothing on the back there. But, you know, I'm a big fan of Irish music and stuff of the sort, so I couldn't leave it behind. I'm not going to go through these in any detail, but throughout the house there were other postcards scattered, so this was all part of the $50 purchase, not the $100 part. And these are, a lot of them, Continentals, New Orleans, and some Italy, things like that. A few standards in there. Like we got Coxsackie, New York, a few views from Coxsackie, New York. Let's see, Climax, New York, and yeah, a few interesting little pieces in there. I think this was a duplicate. Yeah, was this Lake George? Bolton Landing, New York, Lake George. So, anywho, so all that for $50, and then the next video we'll go through the $100 album. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of the haul. Let me know what you think so far of what you've seen. Got my Catskill poster finally hanging on the wall. Can't really tell, but right there is the artist signature. It's the Catskill Mountains that actually looks like my cats. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Let me know what your favorite item was. Leave comments down below if you have any insight. And never stop exploring. We'll catch you on the next video.